Hi everyone, it's Paula here from Pilates with Paula in Essex, and just going to do a quick little Pilates workout for you and hope you're all okay. If you have got any injuries or any chronic injuries, you're probably best not to do these classes or any of the exercises until you've seen a doctor. Okay, behind me you'll see I have a roller and a ball, and we're going to start with lying on your back. And we're going to begin with some slight pelvic tilts. So if you come onto your back, I have got a cushion behind me, but you don't necessarily need to use that. It's quite warm today, so I won't be doing a long class, just a little short one. Okay, so arms down by your side. Find your feet, find the back of the skull, and then just be mindful you're not lifting your rib cage out. Just think about pressing those back ribs down into the floor without tucking your bottom under to get the back into that neutral position. Okay, and then just once you've got that, I'm just going to allow the shoulder blades to come towards each other without pinching and lifting the chest up too much. So just nestling underneath the rib cage. Okay, we're going to begin with your pelvic tilt. So you're going to push into your feet, lift the tailbone and the sit bones up, and then release the pressure on the feet to allow the pelvis to drop back down. And we'll just keep that going, lifting the tailbone and dropping the tailbone. You can close your eyes with this if you want, just to see how you're feeling today. If you're feeling anything going on within the body, just take it nice and easy. If you're feeling quite energized, then maybe take it up the next few levels. But this class is quite a calm, relaxed class, okay? All right, let's take that side to side, lifting the left hip as if you're walking, and lifting the right hip. Just a little bit of rotation to that lower lumbar. And how does that feel? Every time I push into my right foot, my right hip lifts up, and as I push into my left foot, my left hip lifts up. And I can just feel some rotation happening up in towards the thoracics, into that lumbar. So I'm feeling quite tight up there today, so maybe just do a few more. Everything loosened up, and relax it back to center. So we've got the roller. I'm going to put that just underneath the back of my legs. You don't have to use a roller at all, by the way. If you don't have one, it's fine. I'm just going to have that ready for when we start. So I'm going to link the fingers together, and we're going to start with chest lift. So I'm going to place my hands underneath my skull, so I can feel my shoulder blades are slightly pinched together. I've lifted my shoulders up. So push your elbows up to the ceiling, lift the outer edges of your shoulder blades and lift your elbows, not so they're pushing in towards your skull, but just lift them up off the sides there, so you can create some space in between the middle of your shoulder blades. Okay, with a slow breath out, start to move those front ribs towards the pubic bone. Take a deep breath in here, and then just control that movement all the way back down into the mat in order to keep doing that again. Out breath, lift up, breathe in to hold, breathe out to lower. So I'm very relaxing the pelvis and the legs. And when I lift up, I'm trying not to allow my tailbone to tuck under. I'm just letting it settle down. We'll go for 4 more. Breathe in, hold, and then come back down. If you have any neck issues, by the way, maybe think about having a towel underneath the shoulders and then pull it over the head, or if you've got a band, place it the length of your mat and lift and lower with the band, just gently pulling it over your head, for example, and then back down again so you can see your hands just over the forehead. Last one here. Bring it down, bring the arms up towards the ceiling, drop the right arm back, and then bring it back up. So we're not thinking too much about how we're dropping back at the moment. Okay, so just feeling what's happening in your shoulders. Are you lifting your shoulder, or can you keep your shoulder blades running down your rib cage? So let's start to think about that. Right shoulder, drop the scapula down the back of the rib cage, and the other one, and both together, and back up to the ceiling. And we'll keep going with that. 3 more, dropping back, lifting up, dropping back, and lifting up. Last one, reach it back, bring it back in, and place the arms down by your side. Now if you haven't got a head block, Or if you want to use it, you can just put it underneath the top of the shoulders or the back of the skull, whichever you prefer. So we're going to go into slow femur arcs. We're going to lift the left leg and put it back down, and the right leg up and put it back down, just making sure that the pelvis stays level as you lift and lower through the legs. So I'm putting weight into my right foot as I put my left leg up to that 90-degree angle, and weight into my left foot as I bring my right leg up. And that just stops you from rocking the pelvis too much. So weight bearing into those feet. And if you want to take it to the next level, bring both legs up to 90 degrees or continue with what you were doing and do some slow toe taps, keeping the back neutral position. Nice easy taps, relaxing through the hip joint. 3, 2. Last one, and place your feet back down. Okay, if you've got your roller, just going to put your feet on top of there. If you haven't, have one leg up at 90 degrees and do a toe tap. Otherwise, keep this one here. Just going to lengthen that right leg away, flexing the foot, reach out through the toes to the ceiling, and then gently roll it back in towards you. It's really important when you do this exercise, you get some flexibility at the ankle joint. Okay, so it mimics your walking pattern, and a lot of the times we don't tend to walk through our feet properly. Hold it here, right leg up. You can always, of course, use a ball underneath your left or right foot if you haven't got a roller. Okay, but if you haven't got a ball, just gently move the leg out, or maybe sliding it out along the mat. Breathing out, keeping that back in neutral. 2 more. Last one. And place the foot beyond the roller and the second foot. Now we're going to roll yourself up to sit. So if you have got the roller there, you may need to just move that out the way. I'm just going to hold behind the back of my left leg and help myself up to sit. And keep the roller just underneath the back of the knees for the moment. Hands underneath the back of the thighs. Shoulder blades come towards each other, chin lifted, and then just behind the back of your top of your shoulders here, I'm thinking about reaching back my first rib to get that lift of my chest without going into too much extension. Start to gently tip the pelvis back. If you have any coccyx issues, you might want to just stay with maybe a flexing forwards. If you've got any contraindications, be careful with that one too. So tipping and lifting, and back, and lifts, and 2. Last one. Just really opening that lower back. Okay, on this one we're going to roll it gently down towards the floor with control. We're going to keep the roller there. Okay, and we're just going to bring it gently in towards you and place your pelvis on top of it. If you have got a cushion, move that away. If you haven't got a roller, you need your red ball. And if you haven't got either of those, put a couple of big cushions underneath your pelvis. Okay, so holding the arms to the side, we'll go through that same stepping motion, marching the legs. So when the pelvis is sitting on top, I'm thinking about the middle of my pelvis, which is the last part of my spine, the sacral part of my spine, balancing on top, because when your leg lifts up, you do feel this slight rotation happening and movement, not just to the leg, but one side of the pelvis is moving. So bring one leg up, bring the second leg up, and we'll move straight into cycling. So we're going to cycle the legs forwards, breathing in, breathing out, just checking that I can lengthen that leg easily, just moving from the hip joint, from the back of the leg. So I'm not tightening up through the front, I'm allowing the front of the hip to release. Let's cycle it backwards, reaching, bending, opening the hips. So a lot of these exercises we're going to be doing right now in this class is about a gentle hip opening. Okay, bring those legs up, scissor the legs, one down, one up, change over, in breath, change over, out breath, keeping the sacrum really heavy, dropping into the shoulders without creating any tension through the neck and the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1, and place the feet one at a time back down onto the mat. Okay, just arching the back and then tucking the pelvis. Give that back a little opening. Well done. Okay, so that sets us up to do bridging. Again, we'll keep that roller there. Arms to the side. Now, I'm only going to have that roller there for those who want to make it harder. I probably won't do that, but if you know in my classes and you know the next level, you know you can put your feet up on top of there. Okay, so starting at that low level, push into your feet, tip the pelvis, lift up, reach out through those knees, take a deep breath in, sink the ribs back into the floor, lengthen out through the tailbone and come down with the tailbone last. Keep going with that, deep breath in, push into the feet, lift the hips to the ceiling, feel the back of the legs working, in breath hold, roll all the way back down. And we'll do one more and then we'll stay up there. A nice long stretch. So bring the arms overhead, keep the hips raised, point the knees forwards, arms to the side, and roll the spine down. So feel free to put your feet up on the roller if you're more advanced. If you're a beginner to that, please don't do that. Arms down, roll down. That was a bit wonky. I could feel a little bit of twisting going on there, so I need to slow it down a little bit. Arms down, slowly lower the spine. Okay, let's go up for one more and then stay here. Arms back, stretch the arms long. If you've got any shoulder impingements, maybe arms to the ceiling, stretch that spine all the way out along the floor. Tailbone down, ribs are down, arms come over. We'll go for two more like that. Lifting the hips, reach out through the knees, arms reach along, stretch the spine. And arms over, last one, and lengthen those arms back, roll it back down, and bring those arms over. Okay, again, bringing yourself up to sit. Just going to move that roller out of the way now. Okay, you can sit cross-legged with this one if you want to. Okay, so if you don't feel comfortable in your hips, then obviously stay with them bent knees. Okay, so stretch the arms out, pull the left elbow back, reach the left arm long, straight arm swings around, same on the right hand side, rotate, reach long, bring it back in. So I'm thinking about bringing my left scapula towards my right butt cheek and my right shoulder towards my left butt cheek. Okay, so I'm trying to connect to my shoulder across my slings. So we have a sling system at the front of our body, anteriorly and posteriorly. One more. Good. Good, and bring those arms back down. Now if you have something like your roller, you can sit on that as I face forwards for you. Sitting in the middle there. You don't have to sit on a roller, you can sit on a chair, cushion, anything like this, okay? So right arm is relaxed, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling and side bend, keeping the left hip down, bring it back, breathe in, up again, and back, keeping the roller steady if you're sitting on it. One more, up and over. And left arm down, right arm up to the ceiling, and we side bend. And bring it back. And over. And back. 2. And last one. Well done. And bring the arms back down. So we're going to take myself off the roller. I'm going to take myself around onto my stomach for swimming. So we're doing a small circuit all the way around, and this is taking you into your extension part. So if you have got any contraindications, please be mindful with this. Okay, so forehead resting down on the hands. For the benefit of the camera, I'm not going to put my forehead down because sometimes it can be a little bit muffled. Okay, so start with your legs nice and long, pressing the top of the thigh bones down into the floor, and then let the forehead rest, go wide with the collarbones and the shoulders, separate in between the shoulder blades behind you, and as you press into the hands and the elbows, take it up into your diamond press, and then all the way back down. So remember, you're trying to lift those lower ribs slightly up off the floor, pressing down into the top of the thigh bones. It's a small lift, and heavy with the pelvis. Okay, so just preparing for the swimming. So let's keep your head down and press those thigh bones, and I'm going to keep my head up again for the benefit of the camera. We're going to lift the right leg up and bring it back down. Just going to move forwards a little bit so you can see what's going on with my leg. So lifting up and down. So I'm not bending the knee as I lift. And be mindful when you lift your leg, you don't feel that you're dropping too much weight through one side of the pelvis more than the other, because that's very easy to do. Okay, soft shoulders. Let them come down the back. So you could come up onto hands and knees for the next level, or the next version of swimming. But if you have any knee issues, shoulder issues, you're actually better off staying on the floor and doing this nice low level impact exercise. So last one, bring it back. And if you have any knee issues, can you lie on your back? If not, put your hands under your shoulders, push yourself back, and then push the heels down, bottom into your heels rather, into a little small child's pose. Open up the lower back, bring yourself up, and come to sit. And we're going to put a roller in front of you. So you want your cushion under your head, and your right ankle and knee on top of the roller, and your left leg out straight. The right hand's just going to be here on the mat in front of me, because I don't want too much movement to the thoracics. So it's a small shift forwards and backwards for the right hip. Okay, I just want to get my knee a little bit further behind it so I can get a little bit more movement. Pushing the hip forwards, bringing it back. This is a really nice short class to do if you are sitting at a desk a lot and just want to move slightly. Hello, ice cream van's outside, sorry. Last one, bringing it back in, take the leg off and switch over sides. Anyone for an ice cream? I'd like one right now, it's quite warm, isn't it? So left leg on, left hand on the floor, ankle knee on top. Let's shift the hip forwards and pull back. Okay, pushing it away. One more. Well done, and bring yourself back in. Now if you've got your roller, there's a couple of things you can do. You can stay lying on your back, and if you're staying on your back, you can just rest with the roller underneath the back of the knees and stay here. Take a deep breath in and out. And then you're done. Well done. So you can stay there if you wish while I just finish talking to you. So just very quickly, I was going to mention about the studio. Unfortunately, the government is saying that we cannot open at the beginning of July now. I am hoping it's going to be now August. I can't see that we're going to be opening any time before then. So if you do have any questions, any issues, anything like that, please get in touch with us. And if it's not me, if Becky might be able to answer a few questions too, or Claire, or one of the instructors as well. So I hope you're all okay and enjoyed that. It's a very small class, and I shall see you next week. Okay, take care.